Is YouTuber burnout inevitable? So in my last video, I paint a grim reality of how that seems like the case for so many creators, including myself. It's now been 4 weeks since I've been able to use the computer because I pushed myself too far developing wrist problems, grinding all day editing videos. And so it doesn't matter if you're a small creator just struggling to get by, or a big creator who's living in a huge mansion that they bought with their YouTube money. The non-stop grind of cranking out videos to appease an algorithm god will ultimately destroy you. Your mind and body was never designed to be able to appease this mysterious algorithm god.
The struggle is real.
But there is good news. There is a way to beat the algorithm and to have a long and fruitful career as a YouTuber. And I'm gonna share with you a secret to success right now. Let's do this. What's up, yeah? It's John Master Lee, showing all you YouTubers how to level up like a boss. Now I wanna make sure that if you think this video is valuable, to share it, hit that like button, because I think there's a lot of creators out there who really need to see this. All right, so here are the 3 things that you could do to beat the YouTube algorithm. Number 1, you need to focus on creating content that is of value to you. You cannot just chase what the YouTube algorithm wants you to create, or what you think the YouTube algorithm wants you to create. Because if you do that, you eventually create a bunch of stuff that you only have half an interest in, and that will ultimately lead towards indifference. And once you're in that point, it's a slippery slope because you build a whole audience based around that. Everything is tied to a subject matter that you're just not that interested in. So you have to ultimately determine what is it that you know that you will always be interested in. And if you get bored of it, realize that you want to go through a reinvention to discover something new. Make that part of your journey as well on YouTube. If you're interested in hearing more about the subject matter, check out my other video about the YouTube algorithm trap and why it's so dangerous for so many creators that once they fall into this trap, they don't know how to get out of it. Now, the second tip I got is actually very powerful, and I wish I knew about this before I quit my job to become a YouTuber full-time. And that is, don't become a YouTuber full-time. Or another way to frame it is, don't put all your eggs into one basket. Because once you start to depend on YouTube for a living, you're beholden to an algorithm. A better way to do it is have another business that you run and have YouTube be a part of that business. In other words, whatever you value most in life, go build your own business. Become a true entrepreneur. Now, I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there who call themselves an entrepreneur, and they'll have like merchandise that they sell, or they have affiliate links where they can make money on the side for things that they promote. But the problem with this situation is that you are still beholden to YouTube, meaning all these different revenue streams are 100% affected by how well your YouTube channel does. So if you get burnt out from making YouTube, all these other income streams die off as well. Instead, what you need to do is have some type of business that you do that you're passionate about that is not YouTube, and treat YouTube as a complement to that business. Right? Let's say, for instance, you love cars, customizing, detailing cars. Well, don't just make videos about it. Go and do a business around that. And then have YouTube be part of that experience where you can vlog about it, make how-to videos about it, sharing advice and tips. Now you have a scenario where you know you won't get tired of something that you're passionate about, and you have a break from dealing with the YouTube grind. A grind that ultimately is based around you fighting an algorithm where you're basically fighting with one eye closed because you can't actually see how it works. And 2, it's a Terminator, so it'll never get tired. It will always defeat you in the end if you try to go toe-to-toe with it. And my third piece of advice, which I think might be appropriate for some creators and maybe not others, try to see if you can create content that is perennial, meaning that content that can last a long time and generate views many, many months after you post it up. And the reason why is that this allows you to take breaks without feeling like you're taking a massive hit in terms of income that's generated or user interest dying off, which means that certain types of content tend to be very prone to this type of issue. Things like people who do news and commentary, reaction channel. I saw this happen with my reaction channel where I took about 2 weeks off, and boy, the revenue that I was generating dipped back to what I was making about 6 months earlier. In other words, it set me back about 6 months from just taking 2 weeks off. Instead, think about creating content content that it doesn't matter if it's this year or next year, it's still something that people may want to watch, right? These are things like travel vlogs, how-to videos, videos about pets, or science, and even vlogs if you do them right. So my last tip here in terms of how you can beat burnout comes from one of the biggest creators in the world who's on fire right now, and that is Mr. Beast.
So you now have 24 hours to spend the $1 million. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
You've probably seen his videos hitting the YouTube trend pretty regularly, generating 10, 20 million views with his elaborate stunts and ideas.
Do you believe in creator burnout?
I do, which is kind of scary because I don't feel any.
Now, he didn't start off this way. He was a one-man shop doing some pretty crazy stuff back in the day. And as his YouTube channel scaled, he realized for him to be able to continue this grind, he had to find people that he wanted to work with and enjoy the creative process with. So he got a lot of his friends to be in his videos. And second, he learned to delegate.
I realized if there's something I don't enjoy that makes it where I'm not happy to get out of bed, I just hire someone to do it. Like, I keep my channel where it's fun. That's why I have all these people that help me, which if I could counsel other YouTubers, that's just what I would tell them. Like, why are you burnt out? What do you not enjoy? Do you not enjoy setting up? Do you not enjoy tearing down? Pay someone to do it. You know what I mean? Like, most YouTubers are making enough. It doesn't make sense.
Pay production, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I realize for some of you that may not be financially possible, but the whole idea is as you're scaling your YouTube channel, you need to be mindful of the kind of money that you earn and how you can reinvest it back into your business rather than going off and spending it on something else. That's basically what I've done. The money that I've earned on YouTube, I've now reinvested back into hiring an editor who's helped me create some of my videos. Now, this person only alleviates about 10 hours of work off my plate every single week, but I now realize how critical that was for me to be able to have that time to recuperate. In addition, Lulu is now helping me edit my thumbnails, which is another 5 hours off my shoulders. It's generally these highly repetitive actions that start to wear you down. The ones where you've already mastered the process and the grind of doing it becomes something where you realize, you know what? Someone can help me here. And even though I have not been able to work and edit on videos now for about 4 weeks because of my wrist problems, the fact that I have videos created set aside just for these kind of emergencies, and the fact that I have people helping me during this time frame means that to my viewers, it doesn't look like I'm basically just quitting. It gives me time to recuperate. And making sure that you're constantly putting out videos is important because we know that the algorithm gods demand it so. It's really tragic when so many creators and artists and people who are on YouTube have something amazing to share with the world and they burn out and that passion that they had whittles away. Hopefully this video will help mitigate a lot of that. Ultimately, the advice I'm giving you here is to recognize that the YouTube algorithm was never meant for one YouTuber to be able to stand up against toe to toe. You can grind at it for a period of time and work really hard for a short sprint, but ultimately being a YouTuber is a marathon. And if you try to sprint run through a marathon, you will burn out, you will quit. And the tips I'm giving you basically help you realize that this journey you're on YouTube is just part of a larger experience in your life. Something that you ultimately realize is of value to you, a legacy perhaps that you may even want to leave behind. If you remember that to begin with and use YouTube as a tool, I promise you, you will have a much better chance of being able to beat back the burnout. Good luck, you all. Let me know if any of you have actually suffered through burnout. I would love to hear your story and feature you on this channel. Until then, you all, a peace out.